Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre's government has ushered in a new era for St. Lucian workers with the implementation of a national minimum livable wage set at $1,131 per month. This historic reform ensures all workers earn no less than $6.52 per hour or $52 daily, directly impacting over 11,000 citizens. Labour Minister Honorable Virginia Albert Poyet emphasized that this is not a temporary measure.
We are actually looking at the cost of living, what's happening, and whether we will have to, just like government give public officers an increase in salaries. So if cost of living goes up by 6%, if your minimum wage, let's say, was $1,000, so we expect you to get at least that 6% extra to cope with the cost of living. So it is one where we are asking the Minimum Wage Commission to advise the government on how we move forward with the minimum wage.
Minister Poyet clarified that the minimum wage will be regularly reviewed and adjusted in response to evolving economic conditions.
It is not something that will stay fixed, but it is subject for review as time goes on, taking a number of factors into consideration.
The government has also introduced complementary measures to mitigate the impact of rising prices, including expanded subsidies on essential goods and strengthening price controls. She revealed that these efforts are part of a comprehensive strategy, noting that public sector wages have already increased, with the government's monthly payroll now reaching $53 million to cover 12,500 employees. The minister acknowledged the disparity between public and private sector compensation, referencing this year's public sector raises that have left some private employees feeling overlooked. She called on private employers to follow the government's lead, stating that the government is setting a standard intended to extend across the entire workforce.
There are persons where they will see government give an increase to public officers. And persons in the private sector say, but what about us? So what we are saying is that we want to encourage the employers in the private sector to look at the trend that government is setting so they do the same for their employees. And this gives us a greater impetus to put some pressure on the private sector, to say, we are doing it. Why don't you do it for your workers? Government cannot employ all workers in the country. However, we want all employers to treat their workers fairly.
As St. Lucia implements this bold initiative, the nation positions itself at the forefront of Caribbean labor policy innovation, with its outcomes likely to influence regional economic strategies. Chloe Dantes, NBC Prime.